Hello, I'm Luke Neller, and welcome to Best Replays of the Week. In this episode we have The Companions 3, a deadly Confederate, and a Cromwell who knows no fear. Enjoy! Let's start with a Confederate from the EU region. The player's Speerpanzer SP-1C lands in the worst possible match, but Black Tank 23 just rolls with it and gets to work. The Scout Tank looks like a toy next to those Tier 10 beasts, but its 90mm cannon can cause some serious damage. Black Tank climbs to the highest peak on cliff and starts harassing the enemy. Although that may be too mild a word for the beatdown which leaves 2 tanks dead and many others badly damaged. The enemies are now painfully aware of the menace on the mountain, but their attempts to fire back doesn't seem to impress Black Tank at all. The game is about to be decided, and their Speerpanzer charges downhill at the Tier 9 Centurion. Unfortunately, the enemies have had quite enough, and Black Tank is disabled and destroyed without a chance to finish the enemy off. But it doesn't matter. Focusing on the low-tier scout has left the remaining enemy forces wide open. It's a victory from beyond the grave. Well played, Confederate. 5k damage and almost 3 more assisted. That's how you carry from the bottom tier. This week's top gun is Michu from the Asian server. The map is Overlord, and the tool of destruction is the Chinese T-34-2. The tank is agile but thin-skinned, so Michu starts cautiously, taking single shots when the opportunity presents itself. The enemies are 6 tanks in the lead. No, make that 7. And it's time to go on the offensive. The FV-201 dies to a drive-by shot, but the Soviet medium manages to put up a fight. It's a start, but the Allies are down to a low-tier artillery piece. The Chaffee and the SU become kills number 3 and 4. And there goes the last ally. So be it. 1 against 6. Surprise! Your new name is number 5. The enemy starts a capture, but there's a full HP IS-3 here. There's no time to tangle with it, so Michu cuts his track and dashes off to deal with the Kappa. The IS doesn't want to take no for an answer, but neither it nor the enemy artillery can save the Kappa from becoming kill number 6. Now this is tricky. An IS-3 is a tough opponent on its own, and this one is backed up by 2 SPGs. Michu dances like a butterfly and stings like a bee, whittling down the heavy tank's hit points. As if this wasn't hard enough, a KV-2 shows up to join the fight. It dies with a single shot, but dealing with it costs Michu a hit from the IS-3. The boxing match with the IS-3 goes on, with Michu winning by a knockout. The T-34-2 has seen better days though, and it still needs to deal with those 2 SPGs. The search takes a while, but eventually the Crusader is spotted leaving the enemy base at high speed. Michu gives chase as the other SPG starts a capture attempt. Here they are, both of them! The Kappa is hit first, and a lucky fire finishes the job. The Crusader gets into cover and makes itself quite dangerous to finish off. Michu baits it into taking the shot, and then the game is over with 10 kills. An excellent top gun with a somewhat rarely seen tank. Well played, and enjoy your reward, Michu! Usually the success of a defender is down to courage, accurate shooting, and timing. Anfield from the North American region goes beyond that and uses psychology to manipulate the enemy. The M48A1 Patton lands in a standard battle at the mountain pass and heads for the southern choke point. Anfield drives into battle, which rages on until there's nothing left but the Patton in a field of wrecked tanks. Seems like there's a few more. It takes a while to kill them, and before it's done, the enemies have started a capture. Anfield heads for the Allied base to stop it, but the numbers are moving too fast, so it's time to try psychology while picking off a helpless enemy. It seems to work. The Patton heads for the enemy base while urging them to fight to the death. Blind fire from the Allied SPG keeps resetting the capture while the Patton invades the enemy base, destroying 2 of them. The arty can't keep it up forever, and the enemies won't abandon the cap again. Anfield takes the fight to the home base and punches out a giant Jagdpanzer at the cost of a track hit. Another Kappa rolls out to kill the Patton, but the track is fixed just in time. The fight becomes a duel with the T-110E4. However, it's the Patton's superior mobility that carries the day. The last enemy appears, and it has the drop on Anfield. A single hit from the giant gun could be fatal, but the enemy uses an HE round, and the victory goes to the defender. That was certainly different. Anfield couldn't have pulled it off without those reset shots from the arty, so Puffy Wan gets an honourable mention as well. Well done, both of you. Next, we have a crucial contribution from the EU region. Davis LTU takes the Cromwell into a Tier 8 match on Serene Coast, and it turns out this little tank isn't afraid of anybody. The Cromwell dashes into a scouting position and waits for some enemies to show up. Davis harasses several of them, but things aren't looking good for the team. The Cromwell needs to leave these bushes and go on the hunt. Davis switches to APCR rounds and goes for the IS-6 and the LTTB at the same time. The IS lands a hit, but they are both taken out. An SU in the distance is the next victim. Unfortunately, the fragile Cromwell takes another hit as well. 2-on-1 doesn't seem fair, as the ally dies before the Cromwell can join the fight. The little tank is utterly without fear, as it takes on two enemies once again. The softer ARL is taken out quickly, but AP shells just bounce off the IS-3. Davis seeks cover behind a boulder and switches once more to APCR. The IS-3 would just need some splash from an HE round to finish this, so this is a cautious game of cat and mouse. Davis can only attack after the IS has taken a shot, and the window of opportunity is brief. Another opportunity! The Cromwell pounces, landing 4 good hits at point-blank range and dodging the enemy's shot. One more hit, but that was the last APCR shell. The IS pushes the smaller tank to the water's edge, threatening to drown the little pets if nothing else works. At the last moment, an AP round finds a soft spot and blows it up. Whew! It looks like Davis's heroics have turned the tide. As the Cromwell struggles back on dry land, the last enemy is hunted down and destroyed by the Allies. Victory! Wow, that was utterly fearless play. You could almost hear Han Solo crying, "Never tell me the odds!" A crucial contribution with style. In the last replay of the episode, we have 3 companions from the EU region, each of them driving the T-54 lightweights. Delta Slayer, the Bourne, and Bolivitan rev up their engines and head east to make trouble for the enemy. Contact is made, and aggressive driving coupled with accurate shooting make short work of the enemies. That's 6 kills for the platoon, and they are just warming up. Pressing forward reveals that much of the enemy force is dug in at their base. The T-28 prototype is the next one to fall, followed soon by the WZ Scout. The Bourne trades fire with a T-28-2 until it blows up. The remaining enemies are holding their ground, and a couple of allies are lost to their fire. The 3 companions wait for an opening, and when it arrives, they pounce. Delta Slayer takes out a T-34, and Bolivitan finishes off an RU-251. It doesn't really matter who gets the kill though, as their teamwork is flawless. The Waffenträger is next, and it's almost a shame to watch the last enemy being hunted down. This could have gone on for a while. That was probably the best teamwork we've seen on the show so far. Congratulations to the brothers in arms. Did you know that Anfield, Hector and myself will be at the Grand Finals on the 8th and 9th of April, hosting the friendly newbies desk? So if you want some relaxing fun that will show you how to get better, set the date in your calendar. See you next episode, or in the chat, hopefully both.